radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
All right. Are you ready? Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio. For the masses. Yeah. How you doing? Today is Monday, April 11th, 2022. 101 days into the new year, only 264 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere, a total undisclosed location, but it is beautiful in here. Had a lot of people in here this weekend. Yeah, man. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer, and UnX Networks, Race Hobbs. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? Here we go, kicking off another week here on Fade to Black. And tonight, very special guests, me. That's right. Tonight, it's our semi-annual AMA, Ask Me Anything. And the best way to post your questions is over in Twitter, hashtag F2B or hashtag F2BQ. I know that there will be some questions posted over in Facebook and also over in the YouTube chat, and we'll get to those as well. Okay? And we'll break things down into segments. And I've got a lot of questions already that were sent in. So that's what's going on tonight. AMA. Tomorrow night, Paul Hynek. That's right. Paul Hynek is here. We're going to be talking about two things that don't seem like they go together. Or do they? Bitcoin and UFOs. What is the connection? We're going to find out tomorrow night because Paul Hynek is here. Wednesday night, Isaac Arthur, to bring back the sensibility to this show. Yeah, man. Isaac Arthur is here. And we've got a full night of conversation scheduled with Isaac. We're going to be talking about exoplanets and ET and a little Oumuamua thrown in for good measure because there was some breaking news today about another interstellar visitor from space. I will get to all of that. And then Thursday is another Fader night with open lines all night long. Didn't have Fader night last week. So we will have Fader night this week. All right. It's possible that we won't, though. It's possible that we won't. I'm just saying that I've got something that's brewing in the background, and it if it happens, it's going to happen on Thursday. And I'm just going to leave that right there. And I had a very busy weekend, and so aside from that, and the show and everything else, I have to work all weekend. Plus, I had a party, and I did. I had a party. We posted some live streams and things, so you guys have a basic idea of what was going on here. And meanwhile, I had, and you know what's really funny is a couple of guests that arrived were privy to some conversations that I was having on the phone and via text and maybe an email or two about a couple of things that are going on. I'm like, really? I said, well, you know, this stays here. But yeah, this stuff is going on. And I just didn't quite get it buttoned down. So if it happens, it'll happen on Thursday. If not, I want Fader Night to happen, to be honest with you. It's just that this other thing is brewing. It's a slow cooker on the stove, people. I'm just telling you right now. And but anyway, one of the crazy things that happened over the weekend. So we had a great dinner party, and you know, I have a small circle of friends, and we wanted to keep the band together, you know, kind of thing. So we got everybody together. It was awesome. And too much food, by the way. It was completely overdone. But Lisa Frith, speaking of slow cookers, Lisa Frith brought one of our special guests. We had a few special guests, but was Pegasus. It's like 30-pound skull, probably bigger than that. And I posted pictures of Pegasus, and just gorgeous, handsome. And but that was cool. I mean, that was the coolest probably. But her job was scalloped potatoes, right? Everybody had a dish that they were bringing. She was bringing scalloped potatoes, and her better half Jeff, who I love to death, he's great, gifted me a cast iron baking pot with a lid, and with the scalloped potatoes in it. Just gorgeous, man. You know, one of those, it's 20 pounds, and it's just unreal. It was just the coolest thing ever. Lisa, you're the best, and I hope you're listening right now. That was just incredible. So anyway, and one of the other cool things, I've got to get to the breaking news and everything else that's going on. But I'm going to work on this because it's really long. But Kurt James was here with his better half, Tracy. And so Kurt played some guitar in the bunker. And we brought him. Everybody came in. We had everybody was in here. Oh, man. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, so you haven't seen this yet. Okay, this was recorded. This wasn't streamed. I had Kurt play a dozen guitars in like 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 25. I think the whole video is 25 minutes long. And pulling a guitar down, handing it to him, plugging it in, playing, riffing, commenting on the guitar, unplugging it, boom, pulling down another one. And I'm going to do a quick edit on this and clean it up and put this out there. But it's a crazy cool video. And wow. And it was funny because after we were done with that, I mean, he played. It was just like it was torturing this guy. And after we were done, we were walking. I was like, man, there's like another 5-10 guitars in here. It should have been shorter on each one and more guitars. It could have been more on each one and less guitars, but more is better, right? So you have more guitars, and some guitars were left hanging. I'm just saying, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to work on that and get that video together. So it was just a crazy, fun, insane weekend, and I think we had 6 or 8 people spent the night, and we woke up in the morning and had an amazing breakfast, courtesy of Brad and Michelle. And Michelle cooks breakfast on Sunday mornings after these parties. And it was just awesome. It was just an awesome, perfect weekend. So there you go. And I do want to thank Carolyn Ford for Pegasus because that you see beautiful skulls and skulls with a vibe, and Pegasus had all that. And thank you, Carolyn. And I saw your comments about that. And if you want your own crystal skull, just go to EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com and go check out what Carolyn has. Pegasus, you saw the pictures. That's just an example. Now, coming up next month, I'll be speaking at the X Conference May 13th and 14th. And I'll be speaking on Friday night, May 13th. The conference continues online. This is a virtual conference through Saturday night. On Friday night, there will be a live paranormal investigation from 9 p.m. till midnight. And all of your information is over at the unxnetwork.com for tickets and information. Disclosure Fest is coming up in June. And this is June 18th, one day Saturday, right here in Los Angeles, downtown at the Los Angeles State Historic Park. Come and hang out with all of us. We've got 4 stages with music. We've got another 12 stages with workshops and people speaking and dancing and all kinds of things are happening. Billy Carson's going to be there. Adam Apollo is going to be there. Lori Spagna, Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, David Palmer, all giving special workshops. Just go to disclosurefest.org. Also coming up in October, I am going to Egypt with Billy Carson. And space is very, very limited. We've added a second bus. So go and get your tickets now. Start making your plans to come to Egypt with us in October. And October 10th, my birthday, we will be celebrating at Luxor. And I know you want to come and hang out with us. It is going to be so much fun. So I want you to go to forbiddenknowledge.com. That's it. Everything you need. Complete schedule, info, how to do it, how to get it done is right there at forbiddenknowledge.com. All right. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Twitter's active tonight. All right. Tonight is our AMA. Ask me anything. And post your questions right there in Twitter. Hashtag F2B, the sandbox. You can also post in the hashtag. I used to have a hashtag, actually. Hashtag F2BQ. Let's get to the breaking news. Construction. This is crazy. The construction of the Saxavord spaceport on the Shetland Islands in the north of Scotland is set to begin soon with the aim of hosting the first British vertical orbital launch later this year. Saxavord UK Spaceport will next work to establish launch facilities to host the UK Pathfinder launch project led by Lockheed Martin. The mission aims to put 6 CubeSats in orbit using small 89-foot-long RS-1 rockets made by California-based startup ABL Space Systems, right there in the UK. All right. An area at the U.S. government's nuclear waste repository in southeastern New Mexico was evacuated over the weekend after workers handling a shipping container discovered a small amount of radioactive liquid inside of it. There's no indication of airborne contamination, and testing of workers' hands and feet turned up no contamination after the discovery was made late Saturday in a bay where containers are processed before being taken underground for disposal. Now, the container that caused the release had been inappropriately packed at Los Alamos National Laboratory in northern New Mexico. That's nuts, man. 2 decades worth of observations have just revealed unexpected cooling of the solar system's most distant planet, Neptune, right in the middle of its astronomical summer. Neptune is orbiting 30 times farther away from the sun than Earth, with 1 year lasting 165 Earth years. The ice giant's seasons, too, last much longer than those on Earth, more than 40 Earth years each, right? It's 4 seasons, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 40-year seasons. As the planet moved into its southern summer over the past 2 decades, astronomers observed its average global temperatures plummet by a staggering 14 degrees Fahrenheit. They expected the temperatures to be slowly growing warmer, not colder, and nobody knows why. All right. Huge breaking news today. Are you ready? A fireball that blazed through the skies over Papua New Guinea in 2014 was actually a fast-moving object from another star system. All of this according to a recent memo released by the U.S. Space Command. The object, a small meteorite measuring just 1.5 feet across, slammed into the Earth's atmosphere on January 8th, 2014. After traveling through space at more than 130,000 miles per hour, a speed that far exceeds the average velocity of meteors that orbit within our solar system. In the memo, dated March 1st and shared on Twitter on April 6th, Lieutenant General John E. Shaw, the Deputy Commander of the U.S. Space Command, wrote that the analysis of the fireball was, quote, sufficiently accurate to confirm an interstellar trajectory, end quote. This confirmation retroactively makes the 2014 meteor the first interstellar object ever detected in our solar system and predates the discovery of Oumuamua in 2017. That's nuts. NASA's Artemis 1 mission to the moon will make a 4th attempt at its most critical and final pre-launch test beginning tomorrow. The mission team plans to start fueling the 322-foot-tall Artemis 1 rocket stack, including NASA's Space Launch System and Orion spacecraft, on Thursday. The test, known as the wet dress rehearsal, has been adjusted in response to an issue encountered during the 3rd attempt that took place over the weekend. Engineers identified a helium check valve that wasn't functioning. All right. Man, they want to get there. They want to launch to the moon this year. We shall see. Let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to today. 6'7" tall Rammstein bassist Ollie Riddell today is 51 years old. When you see Rammstein, they start the show and they all come down on stage. Most of the shows, the latest shows, they come down one at a time on the stage and do this crazy intro before Till comes out. And he's 6'7", man. And you look at the band, right? He's like, whoop. He's a big dude. Our dead guy's birthday today is, this is crazy to me, Stuart Adamson, 1958 to 2001, died at the age of 43. Stuart was a Scottish guitarist and singer who began his career in the late 1970s as a founding member with the punk rock band Skids. After leaving Skids in 1981, he formed Big Country and was the band's lead singer and guitarist. Big Country's first hit, 1983's Fields of Fire, reached the UK's top 10 and was followed by the album The Crossing. That album was big, powered by the huge international single In a Big Country, which was performed on Saturday Night Live and the Grammy Awards. The video for In a Big Country received frequent airplay on MTV and launched the band into humongous instant fame. On December 16, 2001, he was found dead in a room that he booked into in the Best Western Plaza Hotel in Honolulu, Hawaii. Stewart had committed suicide. Happy birthday, Stuart Adamson. Crazy. I watched that video today. I hadn't seen it in a while. In a Big Country. Remember the bass player? Black dude, right? Doing that thing that he would do. He was the happiest bass player in the world. He did that. He had that thing that he did. Go watch the video, especially the end. It's great, man. On this day in history, 1970, Apollo 13, the third lunar landing mission, launches from Cape Canaveral, Florida, on its way to the moon. after an oxygen tank exploded on the evening of April 13th. The mission objective changed, and it became to get the Apollo 13 crew home alive. There you go. Here's your Fader fact. This is crazy. All right. I'm just going to do it. In 1976, John Moore was treated by a UCLA cancer researcher who developed and commercialized his cancer cells. By 1990, Moore's cells had a potential market value of over $3 billion. John Moore sued, but the Supreme Court of California ruled that he had no property rights to his discarded cells or to any profits made from them. And that ain't right. And that is your Fader fact. Tonight, our very special guest is me. That's right. It's our AMA. If you have any questions tonight that you want answered by me, post it, hashtag F2B, right there on Twitter. That's the easiest way to get to me. Hashtag F2B, hashtag F2BQ. All right. All right. It's going to be a great night. Tomorrow night, Paul Hynek is here. Now, tomorrow night, Paul's going to be here to discuss the connection between Bitcoin and UFOs. It's so funny because I've been talking to Paul about this, and I keep stopping him in the cup because he's revealing. I'm like, you know what? I want everything saved for the show. Just stop. I've got more questions right now. This is going to be an insane show, and that's going down tomorrow night. Paul Hynek is going to be right here. Okay, Wednesday night, Isaac Arthur, smartest friend that I have. So that's a lot because everybody's smarter than me. Isaac Arthur is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about exoplanets and ET and Oumuamua. That's right. All that and much more on Wednesday night with Isaac Arthur. And then Thursday's another Fader night with open lines all night long. We'll see if it goes down. I think it is. I can't do 2 weeks without Fader night. Oh, man. River Moon Coffee. rivermooncoffee.com. So I had some friends over this weekend, and in this one spot in the corner, one of the countertops in the kitchen, it's my coffee area. It's my happy place. And I think everybody is intrigued. They want to know. They know me and coffee, so they want to know what's going on. So they take a walk over and see. It's sanctuary, by the way. And take a look and start asking questions. And I go, yep. And they go, okay, so what's in that? It's Fade to Black blend. So really I do have Fade to Black blend. I go open up the cabinet. They see an entire shelf of Fade to Black blend coffee bags that I'm not giving away. And I know what they're saying. They're thinking to themselves, so I wonder if he knows I really want one of those. Well, I do. I know that you really want one of those. You're not going to get one. That's less for me. But yes, so I have, I keep 3 different coffees always there. It's not always Fade to Black blend because you get acclimated to coffee, right? So, if you drink one specific thing all the time. So you need to just switch up for a day or two and then go back to Fade to Black blend, and then you appreciate it. But then, you need to mix it up. Caffeine reacts differently in the flavor and the things. And so I do. I rotate. It's all good, the rotations. But, man, when you come back to that Fade to Black blend, I just really appreciate it. Go to rivermoonwellness.com. That's all you have to do. Okay? River Moon Wellness. And everything is right there. Fade to Black blend. Links are over at jimmychurchradio.com. I think one of the links will take you to the Amazon store, too, as well, for Game Changer blend and all of all of the Black Moon products are right there. Okay, now, oh man, River Moon coffee. I wanted to say this. It was, okay. I'm going to say this really quick. Yellowstone. I'm watching so many TV series right now, trying to keep up with everything. I'm watching Halo. I'm watching Severance, Slough House, Shall I Continue? Billions. Thank God that ended, the season ended this weekend. Billions. Shall I Continue? I know I'm forgetting TV series. I've also been in between other things watching The Last Ship. I know I'm last in line on that one, but been watching The Last Ship and Yellowstone. So Saturday night, got my friends over in the living room. It's like midnight. We're winding down. It's 12:30. And I go, hey, so it's 12:30 at night, but I was like, man, I want some coffee. I said, everybody, I've got quite a few people sitting in the living room. Who wants coffee? Anybody want coffee? Everybody raises their hand. I said, all of you? Okay, all right. So I go and I make a round of River Moon coffee at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not making this up. And we sit, and I go, so what's going on? Hey, man, Yellowstone. I was like, oh, man, do I really want to do this? And so actually, we started talking about Yellowstone, and I went, where's it broadcast? Somebody said Peacock, and I turn on the TV, and I turn on Peacock. There it is, Yellowstone, right there, all the seasons. And I turned it on, and season 1, episode 1, drinking coffee at 1 in the morning. And the next thing you know, we watched an episode of Yellowstone between 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm hooked. It's really bad. So let's get this AMA done tonight, folks, so I can drink some more River Moon coffee and go watch me some more Yellowstone. Oh, man. This is Fade to Black. If you have questions for tonight's AMA, post it. Hashtag F2B is the best way to do it. Hashtag F2B right there in Twitter. Hashtag F2BQ may even be the better way. It's less cluttered. It's just questions. And, of course, there's the chat room over at YouTube. There's Facebook. And I'll get to everything. Got a lot of questions all ready to go. This is Fade to Black. Ask Me Anything. Our semi-annual. We do 2 of these a year. I'll be right back after this short break with your first question right after this. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. with wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at wtih.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
Do you have an interest in the paranormal? Then you'll love the unxnetwork.com. The X is your streaming audio and video for everything supernatural, strange, and mysterious, like UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, and so much more. From hosts like Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and Christina Gomez. Visit the unxnetwork.com show page for a complete list of all the paranormal programs you'll find on the X. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KUNXDB. Follow our Facebook group, UnX Network. Find the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and Apple Podcast. It's time.
It's new.
It's the X.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our annual, semi-annual AMA. We get like 2 of these in a year. And I would like to do them more often because I really enjoy doing them. But I like to keep the questions fresh. And if we did them all the time, like once a month, and I know a lot of people do that, but they're more popular than I am, and it's a different thing. So, but I enjoy doing them. If you have any questions, post them over in hashtag F2BQ right there on Twitter. And Christina Gomez just posted a question. Okay, all right. And okay, yeah, they're coming in. Okay, so put them over in hashtag F2BQ. Also, hashtag F2B, and then over in the YouTube chat too as well. And I'll try to figure out a way to get through the YouTube chat and get to those questions. I'll do it during the break, everybody. It's not that big of a deal. And I will pull all of that off. Okay? All right. So this is it. This is AMA night. It's going to be a busy, busy night. And let's get started. Now, the first question, it's called Ask Me Anything for a reason. Ask me anything. All right, all questions answered. It may not be the answer you want or expect, but I'll answer. I'll answer everything. But the first question, as I posted up everything today, I knew last week, and I had oh man, I just don't want to ramble right now. I want to get to the questions. But I was thinking about announcing the AMA last week and to start populating the questions. And I was going to do that last week. And I thought, no, let's just keep this fresh. There could be current events over the weekend. And if somebody posted a question last week and then they'll post a new one on Monday, which one, and I try to keep everybody, just one question. I don't know. Some people want to ask 2 or 3. But so that's what I did. And so when I posted up everything today, the first question that I saw, it was unvaried, but the first one that I saw was this one. From Too Much Information. Too Much Information asked Jimmy, what is your favorite UFO book? This is a great question to start off the show, and it was also the first one that I saw today. And my favorite UFO book is a simple answer, and it is Above Top Secret by Timothy Good. And Above Top Secret by Timothy Good was published in around 1990 or so, 89, 90. I don't think it was 91. And I had seen a copy of the book when it was released, and it wasn't mine, but I was able to read a few pages of it and went, holy crap. And then it was a couple of years later, I'm going to say 93, like right in there, 93. It wasn't 94, 93. Across the street from my house on Ventura Boulevard was a Barnes & Noble. I don't know if it's still there. Are they still in business? So I go into Barnes & Noble to buy some books and take a look around, and right there, and Above Top Secret was bright blue with Above Top Secret in like red or pink red letters, and right there, Above Top Secret, and it's thick. It's a big book. And I picked it up, and I went, this is that book. Holy crap. So I bought it. The book changed me. Now, I had been reading and researching and videos and things for so long on the UFO subject, but Above Top Secret was different. It was all documents, letters, things like that. And first-hand testimonials, largely from notable people that you knew. And could be government officials or whatever, kings and queens and things, prime ministers, a lot of that. Anyway, I couldn't believe that this book was printed. I mean, it blew my mind, and it was a different perspective on the UFO subject. Yes. The interrupted journey and things, Betty Andreessen and of course, Betty and Barney Hill and Travis Walton and Roswell. You could read these books and the research into them. That's one thing. But it's another thing where you have all of this information like this compiled. That's why it was called Above Top Secret. And that book changed me. And right after that, I'm back at Barnes & Noble. I'm going to say 95-ish. Right after that, I'm over at Barnes. There it is. It's like more Above Top Secret, Part 2, Beyond Top Secret, or something like that. And I got that. And although it's good, it's good. It's thinner, It's not Above Top Secret. It's great, and you should have both books together and read them together. There's no doubt about it. But every UFO researcher, at the very minimum, I mean, like if you've got one book, it needs to be Timothy Good's Above Top Secret. He's written a lot of other books, Alien Base, which I have, Need to Know. I've got that too as well. There's another disclosure book about planet Earth. I can't remember the name of that. I've got that too as well. All good reading, but Above Top Secret is the one. All right. So there you go. Let's see. Okay. What's up next? Okay. This is from Heather Pittman. If you could find out all the answers to everything, all the secrets of the universe, but could never tell anyone, would you do it? Wow. That's a great question. Oh, by the way, I haven't read any of these in advance. Okay, so let me read this again. If you could find out all of the answers to everything, all the secrets of the universe, but could never tell anyone, would you do it? That's a great question. I don't know if oh man. I mean, obviously the answer is yes, right? But then are you condemned if you have the answers to everything? Does that include the stock market? It's does that make you like the smartest person in the world or the most tormented person in the world? So the quick answer would be yes. You would say, yes, I would want to know the secrets to everything. But if you couldn't tell anybody, right? What would happen if you told somebody? Are you put to death? Do you instantly die? What are the penalties of disclosing like one thing? Life after death, right? What is consciousness? Are we alone in the universe? Right? What do we do? What do we do with that? Yeah, that's a great question. I think that I'm a human being. I would say that the answer is yes, I would do it. But I think that comes at a price. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. It sounds like a movie, Heather. That's a screenplay. There's some screenwriter right now in Hollywood listening to this show going, man, Jimmy's right. What did he say? Answers to everything, but you can't tell anybody or else. Would you do it? Okay, all right. Yeah, that's okay. There's my outline. There's my one pager. Somebody's gonna go pitch that to Paramount in the morning. That's a great question, Heather. That's awesome. All right, this is King Art Munger. I hope I'm saying that right. Okay. I've been through mad different phases like Masons to find out my way, and now I know that happy days are not far away. DMX. Oh, okay. All right. Did you know that DMX was on the level? Okay. Well, okay. If I'm interpreting this question correctly, that DMX was like deep into it. No, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know that directly. I think to a certain degree, most creative people are looking into alternative history and things and secrets and just trying to figure their minds work differently than with somebody that just doesn't care, right? That has no concern about anything. They just think life is just 2D. But artists, any kind, any creative person, their mind works differently. So would DMX be operate? Yeah, I would think that. No, that doesn't surprise me at all. No, not at all. But that is interesting. Is this a quote from a song, or is this something that he said in an interview? I've been through mad different phases like Masons to find out my way, and now that happy days are not that far away. Because it rhymes. Is that from a song? Interesting. But no, that wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. All right. Next up, Nancy G. Do you think the universe eventually has an endpoint? And if so, what might that look like? Opaque blackness or gray milky nothingness or something finite and totally crazy, like a door to another universe or some sort of dark matter wall. I've talked about this so many times, and my view to it really hasn't changed. Sort of. No, of course it's changed. My view originally, and when I was a kid, I don't know if I saw this in a cartoon or if I thought this up on my own. I don't know. But I had this vision in my head. I'm 6 years old, 6, 7, especially in fourth grade. This was happening a lot. So I was probably 8 years old, 9. Well, how old are you in fourth grade, fifth grade, fourth grade? And of the universe getting to the edge of space, the end of everything, and it being a brick wall. And as I grew up, and certainly after starting this show and talking to other people about this, that many, many of you have had this same thought, that the edge of space was a brick wall. So did we all see it in a cartoon at some point? You know, I don't know. Daffy Duck was in some spaceship and got to the edge of everything and crashed into a brick wall. I don't know. But I certainly had that. What's on the other end? Now, let's move on a little bit. Midlife for me, I started to really think about this. Not only when you get to the last galaxy and the last star of the last galaxy, and you are now heading away from our universe. Now, what do you see? Is it infinite blackness? Even more interesting than that, about what you see in front of you, what do you see behind you? And as you continue out, does the universe turn into a star? Right? Just a blip of light. And then if that is the case, are there other blips of light out there to the infinite? I don't know. That would be other universes. Now, today we call that the multiverse, but I thought about, this is way before there was a multiverse even word, that what would you see as you turned around, in your rear view mirror? What would that encompass? And now let's go into the last phase here, where now I understand completely. Isaac Arthur's going to be with us on Wednesday. We can talk about this further. That the universe is expanding, and it is expanding faster and faster. And we now understand that the outer reaches of the universe, that expansion, space is expanding faster than the speed of light. So from our position, from our vantage point, and what is pulling away, is it disappearing? Once it goes past the speed of light, is it dropping out? Do we not see it? Well, but what is happening out there at the edge of everything as this expansion is continuing, right? Now, space, it's all relative. Okay, so let me explain something. And Isaac will help probably explain this a little bit better. I don't know. I'm not that smart, so maybe my version of it may be easy to understand. Yes, it's expanding at the speed of light from where we are. But if you are in that part of space that is everything is moving together. So it's not like you would be in that part of space and observing stuff moving at the speed of light or close to it. You are moving with it at the speed of light. Space, everything is expanding. It's only at the speed of light or faster than the speed of light from where we are and how we observe it. But in that part of the universe, everything is moving together. So it would be, picture like a really easy way to look at it, a stream, and you see a leaf floating on the stream and it's going by you, right? And next to it is another leaf. Smaller leaf, but they're moving together. Now, and the river is moving at 20 miles an hour. Now, if you're a bug on that leaf, are you tripping out? No, you and the leaf next to you and everything that is with you, you're all moving at the same speed. All right? It's not like the one leaf is moving at 20 miles an hour and the rest of us are, no. That's what I'm trying to say. It's space is expanding at the speed of light. And so what does that mean out at the edge of the universe? Man. And then on the outside of that, what are you seeing as space is expanding? And if the universe, the space inside of that is expanding at the speed of light, space on the outside of that, is it still? Well, it's supposed to be. So what does that happen in a relative spot? So now, I'll wrap this up right now. Now let's say you are in the version of space that's not expanding yet. The universe hasn't affected that part of space, and you're sitting there floating, and this crap is coming at you at the speed of light, faster than the speed of light. You wouldn't see it. It's ahead of light. It's moving faster than the speed of light. So what would happen? I'm going to ask Isaac about this. What would happen if you were just sitting out there bobbing along in space outside of our universe, outside of the expansion, you're minding your own business, and then suddenly a universe that is expanding that you don't see whooshes by you? What happens? What do you see? What do you feel? Does the other space then become part of that? Or is it moved to the side, right? And the universe, wow, these are crazy thoughts. And it must be happening with other universes out there that are doing the same thing. Think about that. All right. Whew. See, I almost sound smart. I almost do. So there you go. All right. This is from Mark Gobin. I hope I'm saying your name right, Mark. Mark Gobin. Besides UFOs, what is your favorite mystery topic to learn about and explore? Yeah, that's easy. That's an easy one. When you don't have to think about it, right? My favorite thing is lost history. Lost history. And not lost recent history from 100 years ago, from 50 years ago, or from last week. I like the ancient stuff. And not ancient Greece, not concerned. That's new. 600 BC. Who cares? Ancient Rome. All right. It's fun to read. It's 400 BC. That's new. I like the ancient stuff. And so when you get, you know what? Even the middle period of Egypt, it's cool. It's fun to read about. But no. I like those first dynastic periods, 0, right? Mene, and right there, right to after the 4th dynasty of Egypt, it tails off for me. 5th dynasty, okay, it's interesting reading. Akhenaten, yes, that's fun. Moon Knight, have you guys watched that yet? Anyway. Akhenaten and that and King Tut and Nefertiti. That's interesting stuff. But it's not like the 4th dynasty back to the beginning of everything. So that's the part for me that I find the most compelling and what I love to read about and research the most is what happened before. What happened before? That's my favorite subject to not only explore, but just to think about. Just let my mind go. And I brought this up the other night. If we seriously consider one thing, and that is how quickly we became who we are today in the last officially 10,000 years, 8,000 BC to now, right? How quickly we got to where we are. Rockets and things and the internet and electricity and Van Halen. How quickly we got to that point. Okay. Earth is 4.5 billion years old allegedly. So 4.5 billion years old. And realistically speaking, life, this is the orthodox educational system. This isn't me. 600 million years of development. And out of that 600 million, let's call it a billion years, which is 1,000 millions. How many civilizations could have risen and fallen during that period and been wiped from the earth and never and not known? I'm telling you, I really believe that you can't stop life here. And I believe that life has started and stopped many, many times. There's just too much there. There's too much. And I think about where we are today, where we are right now, how far we have come. But if it had to start over, whatever. Alien invasion, a comet hits us, a virus, nuclear war, we self-destruct, whatever it is. But what would happen if we just wipe this thing out? It gets wiped. That's it. Mammal, everything is gone. We go through 10,000 years of ice, and this hard reset happens, and the ice melts, and everything has been wiped clean. All of the everything on Earth is now smooth again and regrowing and restarting, and we do this thing. And then we go through another 100,000 years of humans regrowing, right? How many times could that have happened in the past? Think about that. We've had 5, maybe 6 mass extinction events. So we really need to consider that. Because what would the evidence be after 10,000 years of global ice that is 10 miles thick, and then it thaws and everything just gets crushed and moved and buried and just a restart, right? Think about that. That's my favorite. That's where my mind goes. Let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black. It's AMA night. Ask me anything. I've got lots of questions. Post your questions into hashtag F2B or hashtag F2BQ. Also over on Facebook and over in the YouTube chat. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. More of your questions when we come back. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can, right now, get your free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hi, Race Hobbs with the X. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you have an interest in unexplained phenomena like ghosts, Bigfoot, and UFOs. And by now, you know that we have our own X blog, the UnX newsletter, and the UnX magazine quarterly. But most of you don't know that we have started our very own paranormal conference. And this year, for safety, this 2-day XCon will be virtual, so you can attend from the comfort of your home. XCon presenters include Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, Margie Kay and Preston Dennett, Lisa Martin and Wayne Lawrence, Lee Spiegel, Debbie Zagelmeyer, Dan Terry, Kate Grabowski, and Ray Hernandez. There will also be a live paranormal investigation by the Riverside, Iowa Paranormal Team. So come hang out with us in the safety of home as we set out to explain the unexplained Friday, May 13th and Saturday the 14th, 2022. And tickets are on sale now. Go to unxnetwork.com. That's unxnetwork.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your Jimmy Church. Tonight's our AMA, Monday night. Our semi. Is that Coming to America? Our semi-annual. That's right, semi-annual. Ask Me Anything. All right, here we go. So many questions, and they're piling up. So I'll try to keep my answers short. That's not true. I'm going to answer as I want to answer, but I'll try to keep it short. How's that? Okay. Let's see. This is from Philip Daniels. Philip asks, what's happening with your poltergeist strangeness activity? Okay. Great question. And it's kind of strange in that most of it is stopped, the poltergeist side of things, at least stuff moving, flying off the walls. The tennis shoes, because it was boots too as well, have completely stopped. And that's interesting to me because it was different pairs of shoes in different spots on the shoe racks. It wasn't anything consistent, like the same pair of shoes or the same rack, or there was something weird with the paint or the finish. Everything's sticky and fine. So I was trying to search for a rational explanation with that. I never figured it out, except for that it was a ghost or poltergeist. But the shoes themselves, sometimes they fell straight down, but other times these shoes were tumbling out into the middle of the floor. You've seen the pictures. And that was very confusing to me. Stopped. And I still walk into the closet hoping I'm going to be straight, hoping that they're going to be back. But no, they have, it's completely stopped. And and here's, but a slight update. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but okay. So the tennis shoes, like on this side, okay, done. And it's been months. And after about a 2-month lull, so I'm going to say it was probably about 2 months ago, I walked in and saw a pair of boots in the middle of that hadn't happened before. And it was on this end, on the right side. And those were, I thought, no, really? Now, boots, these are like tactical boots, are heavy. And that was a head scratcher for me. And on that particular shelf, I have 4 pairs of boots, all the same brand, same everything, just different colors. I know, I've got a problem, but that's what's there. And it was the black ones that were out. So anyway, I put the black ones back, and I thought, okay, all right. And it was a couple of days after that, I walked back in, and next to the black boots are gray, light gray. Same boot, identical, just a different color. And was it 1 or 2? Something tells me 1 was out, not 2. I didn't take a picture. Or was it 1 black one and then it was 2 gray ones? Okay, anyway, so I put that, and that's been it. That side. Now, anything else? No, nothing weird. Like, the poster that fell down and the stuff over there that moved. No, it's kind of weird. Like, everything is chilled out. I am still getting the knocking, though. The knocking. Oh, I can top that. Hold on a minute. No, wait a minute. No, I'm not giving you the full story. Sunday morning, yesterday, we were sitting out on the patio having breakfast, and it was myself, it was Brad, Michelle, Lucinda, Nancy, Steve, and Pat. So what's that? 6. Myself, 7. Drinking coffee. I think we're eating breakfast, and we're all sitting there. And above the patio is another patio off of my master bedroom, and a pretty good size, right? And we're all sitting underneath that. And we still don't know what it was. It's like a thump. Right up, and we all look, and I was facing it, and I looked up, and we all heard it. I said, "Do you guys what?" And I don't know, and it was loud. It was some loud right above our heads, and there was obviously nobody up there. And there you go. Okay, so let's see next. Stephen Simard, Stephen? Is it Stephen Samard? Man, I just totally blew your name. Sorry about that. Stephen Samard, let's go with that. Was Ronnie James Dio as cool off stage as he was on stage? Yes. 100. If he had a bad side, I never saw it. Never. Just absolutely down dude. Cool. Just cool. Just a cool dude. I've told, a few things, a few stories about Ronnie. If I could think of something cool, what would be an example of that? Oh, okay. So one day we're in the studio in Marina Del Rey, and 1999, 2000. And and I'm in the side thing, like this lounge area, and there was the NBA basketball playoffs are going on, and that's on in the background, kind of watching as myself and Doug Aldridge and Jimmy Bain, and three of us were sitting there watching the playoffs. And Ronnie comes in and goes, "Hey, Jimmy, I'm cutting vocals, man. You want to check it out?" And I said, "What do you mean?" "Yeah, just come check it out." And I said, "Okay." So I get this tour. So he takes me in to the live room where he has got, this is Ronnie, man. And I look, and he's got his, it was like a podium, like a pulpit or whatever you would call what a minister stands at. I mean, that's what it reminded me of. He didn't call it that, but it was there, and then his lyrics are open in this book, and they're there. So cool. But then the window for the studio, which is probably, I don't know, 20 feet wide, 4 feet tall, but the shelf, the bottom edge of the window, the glass in the studio was candles. I don't know how many, 40, 50 candles going all the way across, all lit. And I'm standing there, here's the microphone, and here's the thing, and I'm looking into the studio, and it's all dark, right, with these candles lit. And wow. And yeah, that was pretty special to get the tour from Ronnie. He was like, "Get out of here, man. I got vocals to cut." I was like, all right. But yeah, Ronnie was cool, man. Ronnie was cool. Ronnie was all that. He really was. All right, this is from Brian. Let's see. Brian asked, there are about 10,000 stars within an 85 light-year radius of Earth. I'm going to stop you right there. I don't know if that's accurate. Okay, well, we'll come back to that. Many of which may be orbited by planets which are home to intelligent life. Okay. Do you believe we should be more proactive in trying to make contact with our possible ET neighbors? Okay. Let me straighten this question out. Well, first off, anything within 85 light years of Earth, we've already made contact with. All right? So that's it. We have been broadcasting radio and television signals from here for the last 130 years, since 1880, 1890, 1900, with reckless abandon. And especially back then, there was no regulations. And the amount of wattage, voltage into these radio signals and broadcast with when we didn't even know, just throwing turning it on and firing that thing up. We were really broadcasting. And then back in, through 1920, 1930, we had what they call blow torches, which were radio towers broadcasting, and they were battling with each other who had more, voltage, more wattage. And so that stuff was going on, cranking off of this planet. So anything out there at 85 light years, they already know we're here. The communication is there. And that is that. But let's back up for a second. There are about 10,000 stars. This is Brian. There are about 10,000 stars within 85 light year radius of Earth. Okay, I've done the research into that, and I don't think there's 10,000. I think 150 to 200 light years of Earth. You're looking at about 1,000 stars, and then at 100 light years, it drops off quite a bit, 400 or so, and then so 50 light years of Earth, it drops off even further. There's 50 or 100 stars that are that close to us. The closest being, Proxima and Alpha Centauri in that star system, 4.5 light years away. It's the closest. But yeah, how many of them have intelligent life? That's a great question. Now, even if I base the numbers on what Brian is posted here, which is 10,000 stars, 85 light years radius of Earth. Every one of those 10,000 stars has at least one planet, every single one. So it's not which may be orbited by planets. No, they all have planets. Now, out of that grouping, how many have intelligent life? Well, I guarantee you that anyone that does, I'm sure there's other questions about this later on tonight. What is intelligent life? What is intelligent life? Is Stone Age man on planet Earth, is that intelligent life? Right? Is that, I would call that intelligent. So technically advanced, somebody that is evolved enough to receive our signals, that's a whole nother matter. And then the next step is how many have left their planet. How many have left their planet? See, the numbers just get smaller and smaller and smaller. So I don't know what it is, but should we continue? Yeah, we are broadcasting out there. They're receiving the signals every day. And if they can receive the signals, they know that we're here. They're able to pinpoint it. Now, the last part of this question. 100 years. That's the magic number. We've been broadcasting for 100. So the number is 50. 50 to 70 light years away. If somebody out there is advanced enough to listen and then fire a signal back, we could expect to hear something today, tomorrow, this year. It's the return visit. It's the return signal from something that is 50 to 70 light years away, because it would need 50 to 70 years to get back to here. And that's if they fired it up that day, right? Because we've only been broadcasting since, let's just call it 1900, and this is 2022. There you go. They already know. Name can't be blank says, are you consistent with any meditation practice? No. How do you get back into it if you fall out of habit? I don't know. I don't meditate. I don't meditate traditionally. I don't do it. I don't have any meditation practice. I don't. I've talked about me falling into the zone, which may be meditation-like a few times. Well, anytime you play guitar. But have I done it? No. Have I gone there? Yes, a few times, but only with somebody else's help. Do I sit and do I go into meditation? Do I go to a quiet room and fall out? No, I don't. I don't do it. I don't practice meditation, and I don't know if I ever will. To be honest with you, I'm 58. Do I want to do this at this point in my life? Maybe not. I like the way that I do it now, which is play guitar. Greg Hoff, with the new NASA satellite in place, must be talking about the James Webb Space Telescope, can it see more than light events from the past, like events happening on a planet? An example, traffic, people. Okay. The short answer is no. James Webb is looking at infrared. Now, with infrared, it's not a full spectrum telescope like what you're thinking, where you can zoom in, you find a planet, and you zoom in, and you're looking at ants on an anthill, traffic jams, whatever. No, it's not that. What the James Webb telescope with the IR spectrum, what they hope they will be able to see is the stuff that makes up the atmosphere and possibly the climate of a planet. So will you be able to, atmospheric conditions, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, helium, hydrogen, these signature marks of measurable things. And the reason why you want to look at all of that stuff is the basic building blocks of everything. Okay? Our sun has a hydrogen core surrounded by helium. As the hydrogen burns, it escapes through the helium and spends a long time, many, many years, getting to the surface and getting to us as heat. And then eventually the helium will overtake the hydrogen. The hydrogen will burn itself out. Then you'll have hydrogen on the outside with a helium core. It's a different type of star, a different type of fusion process, different temperatures. You're going from 10 million degrees Fahrenheit to 100 million degrees Fahrenheit. And the sun will drastically change at that point. But I'm talking about hydrogen, I'm talking about helium, and also included inside of the star at some point will be a carbon and an oxygen fusion process, which is extreme temperatures. And when that happens, gravity will take over the star. Our sun is going to die. But these basic signatures of what is in our atmosphere, oxygen and nitrogen, the things that we breathe, and carbon, of course, helium and hydrogen, you want to be able to see what makes up the atmospheres of these other planets, and then you could take a pretty good guess as if they have water or not. And is it a gas giant? Is it a rocky planet? And if it's rocky in the Goldilocks zone, what is the atmosphere? So that's what you're going to see with the James Webb Telescope. Other things too as well, of course. But that, I think, is the focus. Looking for these exoplanets and seeing what kind of atmosphere is on these other rocky planets in the Goldilocks zone, and then could that support life? Okay, all right. Let's see. Next up, William Calamari. That's not a real name. Give me a real name, William Calamari. Maybe it is his real name. Who is the biggest quack in ufology? If I was going to go, quack is somebody that just, in my opinion, I don't know what William is thinking specifically in the definition, what he's calling a quack. But I think of a quack, somebody that just made it up, right? Somebody that calls himself a doctor, but he's not a doctor. That's a quack. That's lying and making it all up, right? Okay. So who has lied and made it all up? Well, probably a lot. But I always think of one person. You ready? Dan Beerish. Dan Beerish. Dan Beerish made it all up. He is a quack. And so there you go. All right, everybody go write Dan and go, Jimmy Church just called you a quack on the air, man. That's defamation. No, it's not. You just made it all up. So Dan Beerish. And if you're not familiar with Dan Beerish, it's been a long time. See, I don't even know if he's around anymore. But go look up Dan Beerish. There you go. There's your biggest quack in ufology. There's many more, but I always think of Dan because Dan, from the word go, I would, watching him get in here, I'm just thinking, dude, you're lying. You can see it in your face. You can see that you're lying. So there you go. He was a member of MJ-12. Sure. Okay. All right. There you go. I did it. Elizabeth Barlovin. Okay. She's got like 3 questions. Would you consider getting a pet such as a cat? No, I'm not a cat person. Cats are cool, but not for me. Unless maybe a lion. I would get a lion. A tiger. I'd get a tiger. Would you ever consider writing a biography? Nobody would care. So, no. But I'll write it anyway for my kids. Do you like any rock bands from the 90s up until now? How do you feel about nu metal? I love a lot of bands from the 90s. Talk about them all the time. Rage Against the Machine, Corrosion of Conformity, right? Rammstein, Pantera, 9 Inch Nails. Who did that in 1979? Smashing Pumpkins? Pearl Jam? Ooh, is Pearl Jam? When did Jeremy come out? That had to have been in the 90s. That was like 92. Right? Yeah. Right? So, yeah, is Pearl Jam considered a 90s band? I love the 90s, man. I do. There's a lot of other things I like about the 90s besides metal and new metal. Let's see. Mike Loftus. Okay, we got time for one more question before the break. How does Jimmy define life? Ooh, how many of us are looking for beings from other parts of the universe without answering the basic question of how we define life? Exactly. So, how do I define life? Oh, man. You have the NASA version, right? They're looking for signs of life on Mars, but they're looking for bacteria, right? They're not looking for some dude riding around in an ATV. No. It'd be cool if that's what they found, but that's not what they're looking for. But so searching for life in the universe, right? Well, is if we weren't here, if you looked at planet Earth 3 billion years ago, and allegedly there was no humans or anything like that here, but like, right, amoebas and things floating around in the ocean and things, is that life? Plants, right? When grass first started growing on planet grass, is that life? Yes. But let's go the other way. If you find signs of that, if you wait around and eventually, or do we drop something off? Do we drop some DNA off? Do we figure out a way to kickstart mammalian life, right? Mammals, reptiles too, right? And fish. Do you do that? Or do you just leave well enough alone knowing that eventually life will kickstart there? Or are you talking about sentient life? It's a different thing. It's a different thing altogether. So what is it that NASA's looking for, and what do you and I consider life? I think you and I consider life if we landed on that planet and we could actually talk and communicate with another sentient being. And yeah, but we got to look for both. We have to. There you go. Let's take our break. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight's our AMA. Ask me anything. Post your questions. Hashtag F2B in Twitter. Hashtag F2BQ in Twitter. Post them in YouTube. Post them in Facebook. I'll be right back with more of your questions after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and this year, June 18th, 2022, the Disclosure Fest Foundation presents the Mass Meditation Initiative. It's Saturday, June 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., one day only at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles, California, right next to Chinatown. I'm hosting the event again this year with music performances by Trevor Hall, The Desert Dwellers, Poran Gi, and many, many more on 4 separate stages. There's 16 stages in total, over 30 acres in downtown Los Angeles, with vendors and tents and presentations and workshops with Billy Carson, Adam Apollo, Lori Spagna, Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, David Palmer, and many, many more. It's all simple to do. Just go to disclosurefest.org for all of your tickets, information, and a full schedule of the day's events. Again, nondisclosurefest.org. Do you want to be an official Fade or Not? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fade or Nots. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight's our AMA, semi-annual AMA. Post your questions over hashtag F2B or hashtag F2BQ over on Twitter. And then also I can get to them easy there. And easiest, I should say. And then, of course, Facebook and the YouTube chat. And I'll do that during the break. Okay. All right. Troy, the crackpot theorist. Okay. All right, Troy. What is the most interesting story conspiracy you believed only to find out later it was complete BS? This easy. Billy Meyer. Billy Meyer completely broke my heart. Bob Lazar happened later, and there was many things in between. But the first, completely crushed me was Billy Meyer. And there's a long story to this, and I'm not going to give you the long version. But Billy, in the beginning of his journey and his original book with that color cover and the color pictures and all of that, whatever it was called, doesn't matter. That hook, line, and sinker, man. I took it, hooked me, and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the pictures and the things and the story, and I took it, and now I know that it was all just complete BS, and it crushed me. And that's one of the reasons why, because of what I went through with Billy Meyer, was my personal journey, I should say, with Billy Meyer, is why I give the advice so often on this show to all of you. Just be careful. Listen, right? Absorb, consider, ponder, contemplate, but don't go all in on anything. You can't do it. You don't want to find out later that it wasn't real, because that's going to distort your reality, and you just don't want to step over the edge. And with Billy Meyer, I went all in. And the other thing for me that happened with Billy Meyer, and I ended up encountering this a few more times over the years, is that so many get sucked in. And they get sucked in for their own reasons, because they're on a personal journey. They've experienced something. They've seen something. Something has happened. And now they are in pursuit of answers. You know, and then you're in this pursuit of answers, and you're going through, and then you bump into something like, you know, the Billy Meyer story, and you're like, that's exactly it. Okay, well, and you need this confirmation bias, this thing to show you that you're not crazy. That's the danger part. So when you go through, the reason why you're listening to this show is your own personal reasons, your own personal journey. The reason why I am here, it's the same thing. My own experiences, my own journey, my quest for answers and things. But I have learned not to go all in. I'll let anybody share their story. I'll let anybody share their experience. I will listen with open ears, and I will consider everything. But I don't go all in. You can't do it. You can't. And you don't want your heart broken. And you don't want to go down that road. So that's the advice that I try to convey on this show as much as I can. Well, I will bring it. What was last week we did a flat Earth show, right? Okay. Is flat Earth still a thing? So that's an example, right? Okay, let's listen. I'm not going all in. I'm just going to listen and hear what's up. And that goes with everybody else's own experiences. I have shared some crazy stuff on this show that I've seen, that I've witnessed. And I would like the same consideration, the same respect as I lay this out there, whatever I've seen or experienced with myself and with others, to have people listen. You don't have to believe it, but it's my experience. Well, as crazy as these things are that I share with you, I hear the same thing, and I have to have open ears, but that doesn't mean I commit. All right, here we go. Let's see. Terry from Geist Reservoir. Oh, Terry. Hey, Terry, what's up? Are you going to the SCU conference in Huntsville, Alabama, June 3rd through the 5th? I am not. It should be a great conference, though. And that's a powerful set of minds that are going to be there. So, are you going, Terry? That would be cool. June 3rd through the 5th. My year is getting very complicated. I'm just going to let everybody know. There are some things that are happening right now that are really going to mess my year up. So I can't commit to anything outside of what I've already committed to at this point, because there's some other things that will completely distort everything for the rest of the year. I'm going to have a very busy year in front of me. So I will not be going to Huntsville. So there you go. It's going to be a great conference, though. Tesser Space. Have you ever seen the Aurora Borealis? I have not. Now, here's the thing with that. I want to see it so bad. And I'm in Southern California. And so because of my location, the Aurora Borealis, sometimes, a few times a year, and I always report on it, can be seen from the northern part of the United States. It creeps down, and I'm jealous that if you're up in Seattle, right, or if you're in Victoria or Vancouver, Canada, or Regina, Saskatoon, Edmonton, Toronto, and going across upstate New York, are you seeing the aurora borealis? And I've seen some pictures, and you're seeing the fringes of it, right? But at least you can look up into the sky and see this going on and the glow of it. I have not. And the reasons why the northern part of the United States and Canada, of course, I'm speaking about, is because of some cosmic event. Some CME has discharged off of the sun and is here and is distorting things and lighting up the sky, and that's a random thing. So, no, I've never been there for it. I would love to see it, though. I would love to see it. I would love to go to Alaska and just see it light up. That's a bucket list thing, and Tesser Space, thank you for that, because I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. Kathy says, how do you like your coffee? I like my coffee dark. I like my coffee good because I can drink it black, no issues. At the very minimum, if I want the perfect cup of coffee, I want the experience, then half and half. Okay? And once in a while, sugar. Like pure sugar. I'm okay with that. So there you go. Italian sweet cream is good too as well. But like right now, this is half and half. Yep, no sugar. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Half and half. There you go. Justin Brunkle. Man, did I know you? Are you from high school? Justin Brunkle. What am I thinking? Oh, Kenny Runkle. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, Justin. What is the connection, if any, with the current state of our planet and the phenomenon? Wow. Well, I think that the connection and that current state that you're on has been going on for thousands of years, millions of years. So, yeah, if you're talking about is ET visiting us, is that the phenomenon that you're talking about? So we're being visited as you hear my voice. Yeah, I just guarantee it. I'll take this one step further before I get to the next question. There has to be thousands of intelligent civilizations out there, extraterrestrial civilizations, ETCs, thousands that know about planet Earth. Thousands, not one, not two. There's 3 extraterrestrial. There's 60 races visiting. No, thousands. Now, how many of those? There's 40 billion Earth-like rocky planets in the Goldilocks zone in our Milky Way. 40 billion. So it's just in our Milky Way. I'm not talking about anything else. Just in our Milky Way, 40 billion Earth-like planets. So how many of those have intelligence? Thousands. So, and if they are advanced enough to be out there checking out the rest of the Milky Way like we are, how many are aware of planet Earth? Thousands. Now, out of that, okay, how many have been here more than once? In other words, they know about the planet. They want to just come by and check it out and see what's happening. They do. They cruise by. Maybe there's a ship and they send a probe down. Maybe the ship actually enters our atmosphere and they actually take a look around, samples of plant life, maybe grab a human or two and a cow and then split, right? And never come back because they're making notes. Okay, planet number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and blah, 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 blah. It has life. This is what's going on. They're moving on to the next planet. They've got more research to do. All right. Now, how many of one drive-by gone? I can't tell you. That must have happened thousands of times. It might have happened last night. And then how many have done a return visit? Came back for a second. Man, okay, we're going to split, but you guys need to come by and check this out. Further research needed, right? It's in the flight log, right? Send the message back to base, right? How many have done a return visit? How many hang out here? How many live here, right? And that's the way that I look at it. That's it. It's got to be thousands. You know, okay, I got to get to the next question. There's too many questions here. But let's look at it this way. We've got telescopes, and we are looking constantly for exoplanets. Okay, how many exoplanets, after they have been logged, they're now in the official logbook, right? Planet number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 2022. And it's now logged. Do we go back and look at that planet again? Right? Or are we too busy looking for new exoplanets and trying to follow where I'm going? How many do we go back and restudy that are? We only have so many telescopes, so many astronomers, so many minds that could be put to task on this. And so which ones are we going to pick and choose and then go back and continue looking at versus discovering more? ET has got to be the same thing. You know, so if you have the ability to interstellar travel and go and look at planets, how long are you going to spend there before you move on and continue your work? You only have so much time. Look at the Starship Enterprise, right? Out there discovering new life, new civilizations, right? And okay, this is a undiscovered planet, and where are we? And you start doing the log, but then next episode they're off that planet. they're in a new star system doing something else. The other one was episode 6 in season 4. It's gone. It's in the past. It's got to be the same thing. All right. Nelson from Toronto. Speaking of Toronto, from what you have learned up to today, are you still going with the religion theory of creation? What do you mean? I've never gone with the religion theory of creation. I'm sorry I gave you that impression. Or are you going with the theory of creation from the Sumerians? No and no. I don't have the answers to that. And the religion theory of creation. No, sorry, Nelson, if I gave you that impression. So there you go. I've never gone with the religion theory. If you're talking the Bible side of things, Genesis, page 1, no. No, I never went there. Great book, though. It's a great story. Are you going with the theory of creation from the Sumerians? No, I don't. No. No. If we consider the miracle of DNA and what is involved in DNA and the creation of that, I think that the odds of it being an accident, that it's just life doing its thing and it's just chemistry and over billions of years, this is going to be the result. No, I have a hard time with that. I just don't think that DNA is an accident. I just don't. And and RNA too is just as crazy as DNA. So I don't think that is an accident, but that doesn't mean religion and that some godlike, or if we're calling the creator just some intelligent life out there I don't know. I don't have those answers, but I don't think that DNA is just something that happened. No, I'm not Richard Dawkins. I'm not going there. I'm not. No, I think there's something intelligent behind it. I just don't know what it is. Is it the Anunnaki? Is it the Sumerians? Is it the Sumerian text? It's possible. Anything's possible. Anything. And the Anunnaki story, depending on how you interpret the Sumerian text, is something altogether different too as well. So I don't know. And that's also one specific point in history. We have to look at so many other timelines here to consider, which I've already talked about tonight. So, no, the answer to your question is no and no. Possible and possible. Okay? All right, there you go. Mountain returns. Question is, would NASA promote or inhibit disclosure? Ooh, seems they would benefit as a program. The answer to that is yes. I 100% believe factually that if NASA had proof of life at this point anywhere, Mars or on another planet, I think that they would blast it immediately. Why? They would have no funding problems for the rest of history. And I truly mean that. Now, let's stop right there for a second. Could they, though? Would they? Yes. Would they go to the White House and go, look, man, we got life on Mars. Okay. All right. We've got to release this to the public because NASA knows if they full on did the whole disclosure thing there, we found life on Mars. NASA would absolutely be the most funded agency in the history of everything for the rest of history of everything. That's the truth. But could they? Would they? Yes. Could they? That's another question. It's another way to approach this. So could they? Probably not. Would they? They would absolutely demand, we need this, because they know they would be funded forever. Just imagine that. Whoofa. And they would have no employment issues either, because everybody would want to work at NASA. Think about that. So that answers your question directly. Would NASA promote or inhibit disclosure? Yes. Okay. But the other part is, could they? Would they be able to? Probably not. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Seems like they would benefit. Yes, they would. They absolutely would. Okay. Miss Forshee says, do you like any country music? I do. Not the country you're thinking of, though. I like the old stuff. I like Hank Williams. I like the country from the 50s. That man, Hank Williams. So, yeah, I like the old country. I do. I like the old country. Country started to change in the 70s, Oak Ridge Boys, and, you know, the commercialization of country that happened. But when you look at Alabama, right, the commercialization of it, what was that done? It doesn't matter. Today, there is this country rock, almost country metal, this country rock thing that I do dig. I do. And I like Shania Twain, by the way. I like Shania Twain, especially that early stuff, that first couple of records. Strong. Yeah. So the answer is yes. But the other part, the big chunk of country music today, it's a little bland for me. It's a little bland. It takes too much work for me to get into. But I do like the country rock stuff that is happening. You know, and if you go back and you consider something like Lynyrd Skynyrd, I mean, that was a country band that played rock. But if you think about it, especially all of those ballads that Lynyrd said, that was pure country of its purest form. So, yeah, absolutely. Love country music. But, man, go back to the early Hank Williams. Whew. Spooky. Amazing. All right. Let's see. From David Pendleton. Would you purchase a haunted, in quotes, a haunted guitar? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Would you purchase a haunted guitar if it was the right make and model? Wow. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. You know, would I have like a Randy Rhoads guitar in here? Right? That's something movies are made of. But a haunted guitar. Yeah, I would. I would do it. I would roll the dice. David, I would do it. It wouldn't even have to be the right make and model. Now, that would make it even more special, right? What if I had, you know, thank goodness, I don't think any of these are haunted. But would I do it? You know, and it's got some kind of pedigree and there's some history to it. Yeah, I would. Okay, so the question is, before I go to the break, do you know somebody with a haunted guitar? Is that what you're suggesting here? And if you do, hook me up. Yeah, I would do it. I would pull the trigger. I would. And now, have you guys, you know, Taylor Hawkins just left this earth and stuff, but the Foo Fighters' new movie, Studio 666. Okay, so they go to a haunted recording studio that's in a house in Encino with crazy history. I'm not even sure if they knew about it. I think they were told it in the movie. Now, would you go and do that? And does that mean that other things, yeah, right? You know, parts of this house and things and objects, is it going to carry over? Well, obviously it did in the movie. Now, let's say there's a situation like that. You know, some crazy history and there's a guitar that's involved in something like that. Would I purchase? Yeah, I would. I would do it. So, Dave, if you know something that I don't, if you know of something that's haunted and it's for sale, yeah, let me know. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, our semi-annual AMA. Post your questions. Yeah, Brooks and Dunn. That's it, Kaz. That's what I'm talking about. Brooks and Dunn had like 4 albums, like 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Billboard 200 at the same time for like a year. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, The X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, log on to wtih.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's wtih.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of Forbidden Knowledge, and we're heading to Egypt this October. Come join Jimmy Church, myself, and the Forbidden Knowledge team as we spend a week exploring Giza, the Great Sphinx, the Great Pyramid, Saqqara, Dashur, Aswan, Edfu, Dendara, Karnak, and we'll celebrate Jimmy's birthday in Luxor. The Forbidden Tour of Egypt is this October 5th through the 12th and includes a 4-day Nile cruise, expert Egyptologists, and a chance to explore Egypt with Jimmy and I as your host through your journey of a lifetime. Space is limited, so make your reservation now. Please visit forbiddenknowledge.com for information and complete itinerary. That's forbiddenknowledge.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and this year, June 18th, 2022, the Disclosure Fest Foundation presents the Mass Meditation Initiative. It's Saturday, June 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., one day only at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles, California, right next to Chinatown. I'm hosting the event again this year with music performances by Trevor Hall, The Desert Dwellers, Poran Gi, and many, many more on 4 separate stages. There's 16 stages in total, over 30 acres in downtown Los Angeles, with vendors and tents and presentations and workshops with Billy Carson, Adam Apollo, Lori Spagna, Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, David Palmer, and many, many more. It's all simple to do. Just go to disclosurefest.org for all of your tickets, information, and a full schedule of the day's events. Again, disclosurefest.org.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right, slow down. I'm here. Fade to Black. Our semi-annual AMA. All right. Post your questions. Hashtag F2B on Twitter. Easiest is hashtag F2B or hashtag F2BQ is even easier. And then, of course, over in the YouTube chat and Facebook as well. Okay. All right. Yeah. Great questions tonight. That's a lot more. I hope I get to them all. All right. Haunted guitar. Okay. Next, Stephen Owen. Did you ever see the band Angel live? I did not. And you're going way back. Most people don't know who Angel was. And if we back up now, this is we're going to my ancient part of my brain. Okay, so let's back up. 1978. Holy crap, that's a long time ago. 1978 was when I was first exposed to Angel. I got their first album, and I was in Panama. And the first thing I was intrigued about by the band Angel was, first off, they all dressed in white. That was pretty cool. They had this image. They were called Angel. And then there was this thing. One of my friends said, hey, man, if you take the album cover and you flip it over, their name Angel still says Angel. I was like, oh, really? Flip it over. Look, it says Angel. That was pretty cool. The logo read this Angel upside down and right side up. That was pretty cool. Gimmick, the clothes, okay. The album originally, and I forget what the first track was called. Good band. Punky Meadows on guitar, good guitar player. Big vocals, all of that. Definitely was trying to push a commercial side of this band. And I think they were signed. Now, this is where I'm going to mess things up. But something tells me they were signed to like Casablanca, like Kiss's label. And there was this big push behind Angel to make them a big thing at the time when Kiss and the image, right, and the costumes and the logo and stuff was huge. And I think there was a push behind Angel to make them that type of commercial success. They just didn't have the songs to go with it. And that was the bummer for me when I listened to the album. I was like, And I wanted them to be good because they had this image, this look, this thing. It didn't grab me. Excuse me. It didn't grab me. And I moved on from Angel very quickly. Today, I think that there is those out there that remember Angel and things, but I think that the memory of the band is different than actually what they really were. So that was my take. I was a 15-year-old kid that was exploring music and really into Led Zeppelin and Frank Zappa and Jeff Beck and Santana and these from Return to Forever and these things that were happening at that point in time. And Angel, for me, didn't have it. And I think I listened to that first album maybe once. I gave it a shot, gave it back to my friend, and moved on. So, but no, I never saw them live. I was too young, and they came and went before. I wasn't even in the States when Angel did their thing. Okay, next up. Stu 79FE, and I'm probably saying that wrong, but it reads as Stu 79FE. When do we get to hear you play, Jimmy? Diver down guitar. And it's kind of weird. Okay, the next question after that, I'll get back to that, Stu. Jimmy, my question is, will you please play something on a guitar that you love? Okay, back-to-back guitar questions. Will I play? Maybe someday. I can play. Okay? I can. So don't you worry about that. A diver down guitar, interesting choice of guitars. He's talking. Can you even see? No, you can't. I'm looking at the video feed over here. Okay, this bottom red guitar, this one, that's the Diver Down guitar. The story behind the Diver Down, that is the album cover for Diver Down. It's a Kramer, and it's the 1984 series of guitars that they designed and built for Eddie back in 1984. So that's what that guitar is. And a total tribute to that period of Van Halen. And it's not entirely accurate because that's got a Seymour Duncan JB pickup in it, my favorite pickup. That's in most of these guitars here. That guitar happened to come with a JB, but Eddie didn't play a JB. Rumors are he played there was a modified Seymour Duncan pickup that they made for Eddie and so forth. But anyway, that's what that guitar is. It's great for Van Halen, for sure. There's something about, okay, so the next question, Jimmy, my question is, will you play something on a guitar you love? Yeah, I mean, I could play any one of these because they're all set up and things. Yeah, so would it be the Flame? I am set up, by the way. I have recently... I've mic'd up an amp, And right here on the board, the mic is coming in, and I'm set up. So maybe one day I'll just pull a guitar down and throw some riffs down. But that's not what this show is about. But yeah, I appreciate the questions. Okay, next, AB. Hey, Jimmy, why isn't Iron Maiden in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Yeah, that is tragic. Tragic. Iron Maiden. Isn't Judas Priest up again this year, right, for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Judas Priest 100% should be in. I think that they've been nominated like 3 times now, haven't made it. Judas Priest should be in. And Judas Priest should be in, like Black Sabbath, with for the same reasons, in that Judas Priest formed in 1969. Okay? And if you go back to like Rock and Rolla, and you're talking about 1974. All right? How much do you need to be established? And especially when you go up to things like British Steel, and Unleashed in the East, right? Think about that. And how great those albums were in the 70s. And Screaming for Vengeance, which, their biggest album and things that happened in the early 80s. Think about how long ago that's 40 years. And how established they are. Now, so Screaming for Vengeance and the early days of MTV, that's when Iron Maiden came in on the scene. Judas Priest is already established. And Iron Maiden, the first Bruce Dickinson album, Run for the Hills and all of that, 2 Minutes to Midnight or whatever, that came later. But that doesn't mean that Iron Maiden shouldn't be. It's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a reason. And Iron Maiden should be there, and so should Judas Priest. I mean, there's no question about it. And I think it's just wrong, and I can't speak for who runs the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I know that there's complaints and every year about the way the artists are treated and how the ceremony is done, and so there's issues with that. But at its very core, it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So before you consider other genres of music, which is also fine, there's influential artists out there outside of the rock and roll umbrella. But if you stay in that rock and roll thing, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, right there. And there's many more, man. There's many more. So, yeah. Just tragic, man. Okay, let's see. Sir Grizz, how much of that document that Doty gave Linda at Kirkland was true and how much was misinfo? Well, okay, the document itself. Now, I've heard both sides. I've heard from Doty and I've heard from Linda, and I think both of them have told their version of the story and how it happened and what went down in Doty's office at Kirkland with Linda, and the overall story matches up the same. Where Doty sat, where Linda sat, what was happening, the conversation, pretty much the same from both of them. The document itself, remember, Linda was told she could read it. I don't think she could take notes. She only had to commit it to memory and then hand the document back to Doty. She was allowed time to read the document. Linda has stated over the years what she remembers from that document. And I think that there's a lot of things in there. But the one important takeaway from that document, again, we need to hear from Richard and hear from Linda directly, was that Jesus was an ET, and there you go. That's pretty crazy. The other stuff that was, so now what do we do with that? That's a hard thing to digest. Now, was that written for Linda because they knew she had a religious background and she would take this information a certain way? This is my takeaway. I think that some of it might have been based or factual. Most of it was not. But that wasn't the reason for the document. I think that the reason for the document was that the Air Force knew that Linda was getting information from somebody inside of the Department of Defense or Washington, D.C. in general, and that allowing her to read through this document, and then would she turn around and speak to her source, and then the source would say something, and then the source would reveal themselves, and then the Air Force could go and fix this leak. I think that's the reason for the document. I could be completely wrong, but I think that that's what the Air Force was trying to do, was trying to find out whose Linda's source was. Who was her source? And that was the reason for all of this. Now, beyond that, and I'm going to get to these other questions, but beyond that, the implications of that meeting historically now have turned out to be crazily significant. And that involves HBO, that involves the White House, that involves disclosure, of course, Doty and the Office of Special Investigations inside of the Air Force and controlling things. At the very same time all of that was going down, you had Paul Benowitz and you had Bill Moore and you had the other stuff that Doty was involved with at that time. And historically, how crazy that moment was when Linda was invited there, and the implications and the fallout that happened afterwards. And that's not what the Air Force expected at all. And it ended up blowing up in their face. And Linda is somebody you don't mess with. And that's the truth. And so there you go. All right, so that's my answer to that. Let's see, where am I at? Night Raven. Hey, Jimmy, did you get your taste buds back after the Rona? I did. And I did. It took a while, though. And I remember my daughter, Deanna, because we all got the Rona at the same time. And she had told me like 3 days later, she lost her taste like right away. And I thought it might have been her imagination. Maybe she was reading too much. And did she really, But I remember it was about a week later. And I mean, I'm sick, right? But anyway, coffee. I'm like, I can't smell the coffee. I can't taste the coffee. And I went, holy crap. That part of Rona was real. You lose your taste and smell. And so for that, there was like 2 or 3 weeks after that point, and I'm serious. Red chili flakes, spice, salsa, extra, whatever it was with my food had to go to 11, to a degree of heat and spice that I would never do, just to get some type of flavor in my mouth. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I'm going to say it lasted about 3 weeks to a month. And then as quickly as it happened, just one day, it was back. So I'm going to say about a month. Bigly Huge. Is that your real name? Bigly Huge. Okay, Jimmy, here's my question. Is the Earth a round ball? Oh, come on. All right, I'll finish this. Is the Earth a round ball or a level expansion that goes beyond our ability to measure? Oh, man. Yes, the Earth is a round ball. That's it. It's round. The Earth is a globe. That's it. So the second half of the or level expansion that goes beyond our ability to measure. No, the earth is round. The earth is round. All right. You can believe whatever you want. I have no issues with that. Okay. Jay Raville. How did you come up with the show name Fade to Black? Oh, okay. It's actually pretty easy to answer. Back in the 90s, this is how we came up with the name Fade to Black. Okay, back in the 90s, I made a video for Alesis on mixing music, and I shot it up in Seattle. The guitar player for Heart, the original guy, shot it at his house in his home studio. And a rep for Alesis booked the studio. That was actually pretty cool because I was able to hang out with him for a day or two while we were there. Anyway, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I had been filming all day, and I was just tired, and I wanted to come back the next day and finish filming. And in this video, I'm ready to wrap. And now it's time to fade to black. And I clapped my hands, and it faded to black. Well, so the video was made and produced and titled and all done, but they kept that part in. And you could tell I was tired. Well, years later, Rita, I still have the video. I have a copy of it somewhere on videotape. Rita sees the video and teased me forever. Fade to black, fade to black, fade to black, fade to black. It was like this running joke. And so that's where the name of the show came from. That's it. It's not from a song or some deep, non-related existential influence, some crazy thing. No, Fade to Black came from the video that I shot for Alesis in 1995. And that's it. That's it. No deep, crazy thing. That's where it came from. I'm looking at it right here, Fade to Black. And that's it. All right? All right. But you can come up with your own reason. Some deep thing. All right. Steven says, what was your favorite bands in Hollywood in the 80s that didn't make it? Ooh. Well, there was a lot that made it for sure. Okay. So the ones that didn't make it. I actually get this question a lot. And I always go back. There were many that were great that didn't make it. And so I'm not going to, Hans Naughty, straight out of the gate, should have made it. They were fantastic. But another band, which I think was just one of the, and they were just at it forever, was the Aunt Ja Mimes. ANTJA, Aunt Ja Mimes, MIMES, the Aunt Ja Mimes. I was very close friends with that band, and that band sold out every club date that they just packed. They were a fun rhythm and blues party band that every musician in the band was top notch. Great sax player, great bass player, great guitar player, and great drummer and great singer. And Jimbo was the singer, Scotty Slam, the guitar player, sax player, I think his name was William, and DJ. Oh, man. I mean, just everybody in the band was unreal. And they just didn't make it. Great management. Wow. And I just think about that. And the Aunt Ja Mimes, and anybody that was in Hollywood on the Strip, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, will tell you the Aunt Ja Mimes was the band. And there were lots of great bands, lots that didn't make it. But for me, I just never figured that. How could this band that was so great, that brought the house down every single night, brought their A game, didn't do it? And they should have been huge. They should have been huge. Okay, let's see. Let me look at the clock. Running out of time here. How many, Tri-Scale, how many albums have you played on? Okay, versus how many have you been involved in recording? What? Mixing or producing? Give me a ballpark figure. I have no idea. How many albums out there have my name on it in one way or another that I was involved? I don't know. I don't know what that number is. I used to have a stack of CDs, right? Whatever that I just saved if my name was on it or if I did something on it. I have no idea. I don't know. That sounds like you need to go to Wikipedia or All Music or whatever. It's one of those. It's just punch him. I have no idea. Linernotes.com would be an easier way to. I have no idea. Sorry, I can't give you a ballpark figure. 10, 20, 30? I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see. Looking at the clock, trying to get these in. Ooh, man, a lot of questions here. Martha Breed. What do you think about Lou Elizondo? Oof. Do we have that kind of time? Should people be nicer to him, or is he a silly ding-dong? Okay, I'm just reading the question for the first time. What do you think about Lou Elizondo? Should people be nicer to him, or is he a silly ding-dong? He is not silly. That man is the opposite of silly. I think Lou is committed, and I try to communicate with Lou just about every day. And he does, if I'm not communicating with him, he's reaching out. So there. But he is the opposite of silly, the complete opposite. Should people be nicer to him? I think people expect a lot. I don't know about the criticism or what goes on out there. I don't follow that part of social media, so I can't. So you're saying that people are not being nice to him? Okay, I don't know about any of that. But yeah, it's something that Lou is committed to, and I think people should be patient. So let me see here. Hold on. I got a text coming in. Let's see. Who is this from? Oh, Christina Gomez just said, you better ask my question in Twitter. Uh-oh. Christina. Hey, Christina, how far down is it? How far down is it? Retweet it. Retweet. Christina, I don't know. I don't know where it is, and I got to get to a commercial break. Christina, I will find it during the break, and then, man, I didn't see. There's a lot of questions here I haven't seen yet. Uh-oh. I'm going to get in trouble. All right, Christina, I'll do it after the break. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our semi-annual AMA, Ask Me Anything. All right. I've got a lot of questions here, and somehow I've got to go back and find Christina Gomez's question, and I have no idea. What do I got to do? There's so many. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. One segment left. Stay with us.
Listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can, right now, get your free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? Unex Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNXDB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JamieChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm going to Jimmy Church tonight. Our AMA, semi-annual. We'll do this like twice a year. Always awesome, and I love doing this, and I would like to do it more. And I'm being very serious. So much fun. So much fun. It tests me, too, as well. All right. Right before the break, I got a text from Christina Gomez. Church, you had better ask my question. And that's coming from Christina, and but I found it. I'm going to let everybody know I found it. I let her know I got it. First up after the break, Christina says, hey, Jimmy, if you were at Skinwalker Ranch participating in a stakeout, okay, and one of those portals to another place, quote, opened up, would you jump through without hesitation? Man, you know what? Probably. Probably. Sitting here on this side of the mic, you get a chance to kind of think about, would you do it? At that moment, I'm one of those people that over the years, and I've got plenty of friends who'll tell you, I was the guy that did the stupid stuff. I did. And got injured every single time that I did it. So so we're in the moment, we're at Skinwalker, boom, it happens. Yeah, I probably would. Yeah. And I could go on and on about different times in the past where I remember, I'll do this quick. Too many questions. But me and my friends, we go on a hike in Pasadena, and we go up to Chantry Flats. I think that's where we were. Eaton Canyon. Well, that's two different areas. But, Eaton Canyon. Let's go with that. And we're up there hiking. There's like 10 of us, 2 cars, 3 cars. And we're all up there. My friend Olivier specifically was there. And we were at these skinny trees. And I was like, hey, man, when I was a kid, we used to bend these trees down. We climb up and bend them down and put our feet on the ground. And next thing you know, there's Jimmy climbing the tree. And I climb up like 30, 40 feet in the air. And I grab it and I'm trying to bend it. And it's not bending. And it's like saying, I'm trying to bend, and it goes crack, 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 breaks. And I fall like 40 feet through the tree. I'm not kidding. Ba, 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 and land in this creek on my back. Bam! I can't walk. I was knocked out. They carried me out of Eaton Canyon and put me in the back of this truck. And I was like, oh, man. But I lived. But that's what so would I jump through a portal at Skinwalker? Yeah, I probably would. Okay, so let me see. Let me back up. HH, I think I'm going to have to get into rapid fire answering these questions. HH, hey, Jimmy, have you gotten your BC Rich? No. Or Mini Strat. The Mini Strat is at Pat Wilkins. So can you show us? Okay, the Mini Strat, which is this project, is at Pat Wilkins' shop getting finished up right now. I got a Mini Strat this big with a custom vintage white paint job and this limited edition $150 guitar. But I took the guitar to Pat Wilkins for this immense project. I'm having a vibrato put on it. Yngwie Malmsteen Fury pickups are being put in. The frets are coming out. Dunlop stainless steel 6100s are going in. The headstock's getting stripped with a vintage Fender logo being put on it. The nut is being pulled out and replaced with a Graph Tech white nut. And what else? Oh, and Fender locking tuners. And so I'm spending $1,000 on a $150 guitar to get this thing done. It's a huge project. I spoke to Pat about it last week, and it's crazy what we're doing, but it's got to get done. And Yngwie Malmsteen's going to be in town next month in May. And so this guitar has got to be finished by then so I can have Yngwie check it out. Okay, so that's it. Not here yet. And the BC Rich, you've just reminded me to get back in touch with them because that guitar should have been here already. It's a COVID thing, but there you go. Okay, next. From Yeah, I Said It. Is that your God-given name? Who does Lou Elizondo work for now? Oh, another Lou Elizondo question. He's still active in the Intel community somehow. Okay. I don't know who Lou Elizondo works for now. And even if I did know, would I say it? No, probably not. I don't know if he works for anybody. Isn't he retired? Is he still a contractor for the government? I don't know. I have no idea. If he's retired, isn't he getting his military pay or whatever? I would think. I don't know. I don't know. So who does he work for now? Don't know. And if I knew, I wouldn't say anyway. All right. He's still active in the intel community somehow. Could be. I mean, you never really leave, do you? I'm just saying. All right. This from TB. When you go to Egypt, are you going to check out the Nats? Aha. Okay. Let me ask this again. When you go to Egypt, are you going to check out the NASA Quonset hut/hangar on the Giza Plateau? Okay, what TB is talking about here is, and it's there. I've seen the pictures. I've had friends of mine that have checked it out and sent me pictures. You could probably find it online. Just south of the Giza Plateau on the way to Saqqara, out in the desert, NASA has a building, and it's big, and the NASA logo is on the side. What is a NASA hangar doing in Giza? Right? And now, as far as I know, there's no airstrips. So why would NASA have a hangar? It looks like a hangar. It's a big building. I have no idea. Can you get to it? I don't know. Would I like to? Absolutely. What is a hangar for NASA doing there? I don't know. Where I live now, NASA has these big buildings over here, and you can see them. I've photographed them. And one day, a couple of months ago, I was out there, and next to the hangar was a NASA 747. I was like, okay. Now, I've driven past it many times. There's no 747 there. But on this particular day, there was. Now, what would a NASA 747? I don't know. I don't know what they're building. I don't know what they're testing. I don't know. But I did stop the Jeep. I got out and took some pictures because that was pretty crazy. But that's next to an airstrip. So whatever NASA is doing and building and stuff, and I'm sure that they're working on stuff, there's an airstrip there. That makes sense. NASA and Giza without an airstrip, that's a whole nother level of mystery. So, yeah, if I can get to it, I will. So I'm out in Egypt and I'm with a couple of buses and we're on a tour and we're doing do I have the ability to stop the bus and jump in a car and drive over? Or can I tell the bus driver, dude, stop what you're doing, take these buses over to that building right there? I don't know if I have that kind of juice and time, but I would love to find out. So there you go. And I will have binoculars with me. So who knows what I'll see. But, yeah, I would like to check that out. Great question. Kim Jellin says, Jimmy, what is coming in the next weeks, months that you'd rather not tell? I'm asking you anything. Oh, man. Let me answer that question this way. I hear things all the time. All right? Different sources, different people. And I feel that in some weird way, I'm being tested. Now, let me explain. If I'm given some information, right? Kind of like what I was talking about earlier with Linda Moulton Howe and Doty, right? And I'm given some information and I blurt it out on the air. Now, whoever gave me that information, and I don't know if it's true or not or real, I don't know. But if I blurt it out on the air, does that tell somebody that I cannot be trusted or that I can be a tool to leak information out on the air? right? Now, either way, it's a bad position to be in. So, and if I do reveal something, and how do I know if it's absolutely 100%? But let's say that I do, and then they come back and give me something else because they know now that I'm a leaky ship. There's a hole in the dike, and they know that I'll just start. And I don't want to be that guy. I don't. And even what if it's real? All right, and it's important. I don't know the difference. And I don't want to be used in that capacity. And the other part, let's go back to my first statement, that if it is something crazy and I'm not supposed, and somebody says, don't say anything, but here is this. Well, you know what? I don't say anything. I don't. If somebody says, I do not say anything, not to my friends, not privately, not in a text, certainly not on the air. I don't do it because I want to be able to be trusted with other information. That's all. And one thing I can do is, and I do this a lot, is that later as time moves by, and I've been told something, and then something happens, and then what I was told earlier that was nuts, and I find out that it was accurate, then I know that source can be trusted. And that's that information that may follow is spot on. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. And you need to balance the two and understand. So if something is given to me privately and I'm told not to say anything, I respect that. 100%. I don't tell anybody. Just don't do it. Right? And I don't want to be known as somebody that can't be trusted. The other part of it is I don't blab things out in the air. I will let other people do it. Either on this show or other shows or whatever, go ahead, go and do it. But I'm not going to be the spreader of misinformation. It's just not going to happen. I'll ask questions, but no, I'm not going to be the guy that blabs. And that's it. That's it. Do I know stuff? Yeah, I know lots of stuff. I do. But it's going to stay right there. What I can do, and this is something that you can depend on, is that as I ask questions of guests, you know that it's based on other, and I'm able to frame it in a question. I can do that. Okay? All right? But I'm not going to come out and go, man, guess what I heard today? Or, somebody said this to me last week. And I'm, no. I've never done it, and I'm not going to. But I can frame it in a question so I can figure things out. And when I do that, you benefit. All right? Okay. Oh, man. Let's see. Next, Scott Bear. Jimmy. When we talk about intelligent life, would we even recognize it if we could even see it? Man, that's a great question, Scott. And that's a yes and no answer. Not to be evasive, but that's a yes and no answer. I think a better way to ask this question is, instead of recognize, would we understand? Right? If we, would we understand? Recognize it? That's a bit tougher. Now, what are we talking about here? Is it a transmission that comes in? Would we recognize that coming from intelligent life? Yeah, that's tough. Would we recognize it if it was standing right in front of us? Yeah, I would say that we would recognize a life form. But the question is, would we understand? And one of the things that frustrates me is this, is we keep going back to ants, Right. Okay. So why aren't we teaching ants? Does ET look at us like ants and like this inferior thing in the way that we look at other life forms on our own planet, and we don't attempt communication? I'm not talking about dogs and cats. I'm just talking about anything. Well, it frustrates me when I hear that. But here's the trippy part. If an intelligent civilization, a race of beings, shows up here and tries to communicate with us their science and what they have learned, would we understand that? Oh, man, we may have a really hard time. And if they are... We have a hard time trying to figure out physics in its form right now and quantum physics. And we have a hard time believing and understanding and wrapping our heads around string theory and parallel worlds and quantum mechanics and qubits and quantum computers and the multiverse and these things that physics is throwing at us in the form of questions. And remember, the multiverse is just math. And if something is this way, then it must be this way, and therefore there may be a multiverse. It's in math. It's numbers. It's nothing that we have seen or witnessed, and we're trying to measure. No. Okay? And we have a hard time with that. Well, if we have an intelligent race of beings that shows up here and tries to explain to us how they move around the universe, I don't know, with their minds, whatever, and for them it's really simple and really easy, and they're going to tell us how to do. How are we going to understand that? If you really look at it this way, for them to travel interstellar and get to here, what have we done? How far have we left this planet? How far? We've gone to the equivalent of like going down to the end of the driveway and checking the mailbox for mail. That's what we've done. That's it. That's it. So how are we going to understand? It's going to be a difficult process. It's going to happen one day if it's not happened already. But there's no way that any normal person, me, you encounter some being that has the ability to travel interstellar and come here and visit, that we are going to understand? No. Nope. Here it is. Let me write this out for you. This is how we do it. Here you go. What are you going to do with that? All right. Oh, man. Brian Nuss says, best trace evidence case and why. I don't think we know about the best trace evidence case. So I don't, the best trace evidence case, we don't know about it. That is something that is above our pay grade. Whatever that is, we don't know about it. But if we're talking about a case that we know of, I think there's two. That is Socorro, New Mexico, and Rendlesham Forest. I think those are two cases. But the trace evidence that we have from that, the eyewitness testimony, but we have radiation levels and we have imprints in the ground. Same thing in both cases, both Rendlesham and Socorro, New Mexico. And that's it. Now, do we have a seat or a pair of overalls from the ET? Do we have that kind of trace evidence? No, we don't. We simply, did they drop a radio and we picked that? Not that we know. All right. Now, what the government has in their possession and the best trace evidence case for them, that's another situation. For us, probably the two are Socorro, New Mexico, and Rendlesham. And the trace evidence for both of those cases are remarkably similar, if you think about it. Okay, let's see. GTMA, to me, truly woke has spiritual, peaceful elements. Are you tired of people tarnishing the concept of woke? I remember the first time I heard woke, it was a number of years ago. And I remember Teresa Yanaris on the show telling me I was woke. And I said, really? I thought it was some hip, cool Gen Z thing, millennial, to be woke. And I always thought woke was just alert, right? Not stupid, not closed down, and not looking at the world around you. That woke meant that. Today, woke is like negative. It's really weird. So am I tired? I don't even know now what is going on out there, but it is really weird how the media and other groups and people out there that are ragging on woke. And my original version of woke in my mind, which was 5 years ago, was a totally different thing. So, yeah, I would say I agree. I would agree with that. Last question. And look, there are so many questions I didn't get to tonight. I get that. All right. But I did the best that I could. Last question. This is from the Italian. Have you seen the movie Extraterrestrial, and what did you think of it? Okay. If it's the movie I'm thinking of, it's a movie about some friends in a cabin and they get attacked, right? Is that the movie you're talking about? And that one, was that the one? Okay, the guns and they attack and they go outside and E.T. is, and wasn't there some time travel or something? And E.T. was inside the barn outside of the cabin, and they have the thing. And is that anyway, if that's the movie, and I hope I've got it right, it was actually pretty cool. And the original twist of the movie of them inside the cabin with the guns, that was pretty interesting. And I was like, I hope this isn't all there is. Well, it turned, if I've got it right, I hope I'm not confusing two different movies and combining them into one. But that E.T. was stashed, there was something magnetic or was batteries or something in the barn. And then so they were able to get out, and somebody escaped. One of their friends was on a motorcycle, right? And he went to go get help. And I really like the movie. If that's the movie that you're talking about, Extraterrestrial, yeah, it was really cool. If we're talking, I think I'm combining two movies. If I'm not cool, if I am combining two movies, we should make those two movies into one. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. This wraps another AMA. I'm brain dead. And now I get to eat some dinner and go watch Yellowstone. What a great night tonight. Thank you. I realize, and I'm not kidding, I know that I left 100 questions on the table. I didn't get to them all. I got to as many as I could, and it was fun. We got to do this more often. Maybe I could collect everything that I missed tonight and just do another AMA next week. We could do that. Right? Great questions tonight. I loved them all. Fade to Black is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast owned and copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, right here, Paul Hynek, Bitcoin, and UFOs. You're not going to want to miss that. Until then, I want everybody to be safe. It's time to fade to black.